crochet friends and family, welcome to another tutorial. Today we're working on the butterfly garden doily. I came up with this pattern because I was working on the sunburst doily and I was playing around with it and I was trying to figure out a way to make it look a little different than just having these spaces here, like the bursts. I call them sunbursts, and I just wanted something different. So while I was playing around with this, I came up with this, and I was like, well, I came up with the butterfly, and I was like, oh my gosh, how can I make this into something a little more unique? And I had started like making different things here and like, just double crochets, and it just didn't look right. And I was like, duh, make a flower with butterflies. That's like perfect. So that's how this pattern came about. I really hope you enjoy making it. It's very simple, very easy, especially the first. It's just completely all rounds. And, well, that's all I can say about it. For this one, I used the same thing that I used in the sunburst. I used this yarn here, which is, I used 2 strands because like I had mentioned before, I don't know if maybe you didn't even see the other tutorial, so I have to start fresh. I had taken this out of another project I was working on because the yarn was in 2 different colors. Same color listed, but just 2 different shades. So I had to undo it all, and I had all this extra yarn, and I was like, well, I gotta make something with this. So I made 2 doilies out of it. So it worked perfectly. And I used, I'm gonna put it right here. I used Aunt Lydia's number 3 natural yarn, and I used a 3.5 hook. Now you can use any size hook you'd like. I didn't measure this one, but I can right now because, well, I have my tape measure here. So without the, well, let me do it with the flowers first. So with the flowers, it measures about 12 inches. Without the flowers, it measures about 10. So if you want it bigger or smaller, you'll have to adjust your hook size and your yarn. So it's totally up to you. You have options. And I think that's everything. Of course, you'll need a darning needle and scissors. And that's about it. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is get a slip knot onto our hook. I like to just make a very simple X with my yarn, insert my hook underneath, pull it through, and give it a nice pull, and my yarn is on my hook. Now we're going to chain up 6, so yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more. Now we're going to slip our hook back into the very first chain stitch we made, pull our yarn through, and pull our yarn through. And that's going to give us a nice circle to work into. Next, we're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2. Now we're going to work double crochets into this chain space right here. So insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm also going to try and work around this tail right here. So I'm going to keep it in my fingers around like that so I can continue to work around this so it's less I have to weave in at the end. So go ahead and yarn over, insert your hook into that space, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into that space, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into that space, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is, let's count how many we have so far. So we're not counting this chain 2 that we did. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go ahead and make 2 more. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So right now we have 6 double crochets, not counting that chain 2. We need a total of 16. So go ahead and work 10 more double crochets into this space and I'll meet you back here. I'm coming up on my last two here. You may have to pull these aside, like pull them back a little to get the last two in, which is fine. So I have 1 and 2, that makes 16 total double crochets. Remember, we're not counting that chain 2 this time. Now we're going to slip stitch in the top of the very first double crochet we made right here. So insert your hook, pull your yarn through, and pull your yarn through, just like that. For our next round, we're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2. Now into the top of that double crochet that we first slip stitched into right there, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, and make a double crochet. Yarn over and go right back into that same stitch and make another double crochet. Into the next stitch, we're going to work 2 double crochets. So there's 1, and back into that same stitch, 2. Into the next, 2 double crochets. So there's 1, and there's 2. And that's what we're going to do all the way around for this row. We're just going to work 2 double crochets in every single stitch all the way around for a total of 32 stitches. And I'll meet you right back here. Okay, I'm coming up on my last stitch right here. It looks like this is a stitch here, but it's not, because that's part of that chain. So we're not working in that. So right here, if you count your stitches all the way around, you should have only 2 more stitches to go. So insert your hook into this space right there. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and 1 more double crochet into that same space. Now we're going to slip stitch in the top, not of this chain 2, but this very first stitch right here. So insert your hook, pull your yarn through, and pull your yarn through. And that completes that round. For the next round, we're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2. We're going to work 2 double crochets into that stitch that we just slip stitched into. So insert your hook, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, into that same stitch, another double crochet. Into the next stitch, we're just going to work 1 double crochet. Into the next stitch, 2 double crochets. Into the next stitch, 1 double crochet. And that's going to be the pattern repeat for this row. It's going to be 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the next. So it's 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1. So this is our 1. Next one's going to be 2, 1, 2, 1, all the way around. And when you get back to here, you should have a total of 48 stitches when you get back here. Okay, for this next couple stitches here, I need to put a double crochet and another double crochet into this stitch, and then right into this stitch we're going to work our last double crochet. So into this stitch here I'm going to work 2, and then into this stitch right here I'm going to work my last one, and that should be a total of 48 stitches. And now I'm going to go into the top of this double crochet right here, insert my hook, pull my yarn through, and pull my yarn through. And that completes that round. For this next round, we need to work a total of 64 stitches. So we're going to chain up 2 again, 1 and 2, Yarn over, we're going into that same stitch that we slip stitched into. We're going to work 2 double crochets in there. So there's 1 and there is 2. Into the next double crochet, we're just going to work 1 double crochet. Into the next double crochet, just 1 double crochet. And that's going to be our pattern repeat for this row. We're going to work 2, 1, 1. So now we're going to work into this next stitch 2 double crochets into that same stitch, 1 into the next double crochet, and 1 into the next. So it's 2, 1, 1. So this stitch, 2 double crochets, into the next 1 double crochet, and into the next 1 double crochet. So go ahead and work that all the way around. 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet. Go right around and I'll meet you right back here. I'm coming up on my last 3 stitches here. So I'm going to work 2 double crochets in this one, a double crochet and a double crochet. You want to make sure that you end with the last of the 2 double crochets because we started with 2 double crochets. If for some reason you're not, make sure you go back through and see if you didn't have a mishap. Sometimes that happens. And also make sure you have a total of 64 stitches when you complete this last stitch. So I'm going to work 2 double crochets into this stitch, a double crochet into the next, a double crochet into the next, and then in the top of the double crochet we had started with, not the chain, I'm going to slip stitch through there. And that completes that round. For our next round, we're going to crochet up 2, 1 and 2. We're going to work a double crochet into that stitch that we slip stitched into. And another double crochet into that same stitch. This time, we're going to be working 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then 2 into the next. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to work that all the way around. So we did our 2. Now we're going to do 1, 2, and then 3. Into the next stitch, 2, 1, and 2 double crochets all into that same stitch, and then into the next one, 1, 2, and 3. So instead of doing 2, we're doing 3 this time. Just remember, when you come back around, you should end on the last of the double crochets, the single double crochets. You should end on the 3rd one right here. Also, this round is going to have a total of 80 stitches. So go ahead and repeat that. So into the next stitch, 2 double crochets, next stitch 1, next stitch 1, next stitch 1. So it's 2, 1, 1, 1. And I'll meet you back here. I'm coming up on my last 4 stitches here. So into the very next one, I'm going to work 2 double crochets, then 1, 2, and 3. And you should be ending with your last of the 3 before we slip stitch into the top of this chain. If it's not like this, you might want to go back through and just check your stitches. And for this round, we should have a total of 80 by the time we are finished. So I'm going to work 2 double crochets into this next stitch right here. Into the next, 1 double crochet. into the next 1 double crochet, into the next 1 double crochet, and that completes my 3 double crochets after the 2. And now I'm going to slip stitch in the top of the first double crochet we made right here. Pull my yarn through and pull my yarn through, and that completes that round. Don't worry if it's buckling here a little bit, it will flatten out as we go along. For this next round, we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to make a double crochet in the next 1, 2, 3 stitches. So double crochet into this stitch, a double crochet into the next, and a double crochet into the next. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to skip the next stitch and work a double crochet into the next stitch, and a double crochet into the next, and a double crochet into the next, and a double crochet into the next, leaving us with a full total of 4 double crochets. Now we want to chain 1. We're going to skip the next stitch and work a double crochet into the next, and that's going to be our pattern repeat. 4 double crochets, chain 1, skip a stitch, 4 double crochets, chain 1, skip a stitch, and go all the way around, and I'll meet you right back here. I'm coming up on my last couple stitches here, so I did my first double crochet of the 4. This is going to be my second, third, and fourth. I'm going to chain 1, and of course we're going to skip this stitch right here, and then we're just going to slip stitch in the top of the chain 3 right here like we have been, and pull that through and pull that through, and that completes that round. For this next round, I'm going to suggest some stitch markers. Reason being is because you want to put a different stitch in one of these spaces. So we're not going to be doing a stitch marker in this one, but definitely in the next one. And then from this one, we're just going to skip all the way around. So here we're skipping, and into this one, we're putting a stitch marker. And then skip, and then a stitch marker into the next, and go ahead and do that all the way around. So don't put one in this one, so we're putting one here, skip, here, skip, here, skip, and then do that all the way around. After you do that, we want to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to put a double crochet in each of these double crochets. So a double crochet here, double crochet into the next, and a double crochet into the next. Now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. We're going to work a double crochet into this next double crochet right here, a double crochet into the next double crochet, a double crochet into the next double crochet, and a double crochet into the next double crochet. Now where the stitch marker is, you can take it out right now if you'd like. We're going to put a double crochet, a chain 1, and another double crochet right back into that same space. Just like that. Now we're going to work a double crochet in the next 4 double crochets. We're going to chain 2 and a double crochet in the next 4 double crochets. Now we have a stitch marker here. So what we're going to do is do a double crochet, a chain 1, and then another double crochet into that same space, and then 4 double crochets, chain 2, and a double crochet into the next 4 double crochets. And that's going to be the pattern repeat. When we have our stitch marker, we're going to put a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Where we don't have a stitch marker, it's just a chain 2. And then of course 4 double crochets in each of the 4 double crochets. So go ahead and work that all the way around, and I'll meet you back here where we started. I just finished my 4 double crochets into the 4 double crochets before we started. Now I'm going to work a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet into that last space before we started. And now I'm going to slip stitch in the top of that chain 3 where we started, pull my yarn through and pull my yarn through. And that completes that round. For this next round, we're just going to chain 3 in between every double crochet space. In between here, in between here, in between here. So let's go ahead and chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3. Work a double crochet into the next double crochet. A double crochet into the next double crochet. And a double crochet into the next double crochet. Now we want to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to work a double crochet into the next 5 double crochets here. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to work a double crochet into these next 5 double crochets. So go ahead and work that all the way around, and I will meet you back at the beginning. I just finished my last 5 before the chain space here. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to double crochet into this last double crochet right here. And then I'm going to slip stitch in the top of the chain 3 right here. Pull my yarn through and pull my yarn through, and that completes that round. Okay, now we're on to what I call the fun round. We're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2. That's actually going to count as a half double crochet. Into the next 2 stitches here, we're going to work a double crochet and a double crochet. Into this last double crochet right here, we're going to work a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. That's a half double crochet. Now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. We're going to yarn over. We're going into this second space right here. At the 3 here, we're going into the second one. Insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going back into the very first chain that we made right here. Insert your hook, pull your yarn through, and pull your yarn through. Now we're going to chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going back into that very first one, that very first chain again. Insert your hook, pull your yarn through, and pull your yarn through. Again, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to insert our hook back into that very first chain, pull our yarn through, and pull our yarn through. Chain 4 again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going back into that very first one, excuse me, pull your yarn through and pull your yarn through. We should have 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to bring our hook back down and into this double crochet right here, these 2 stitches right there. You can see that, I hope, right into there. We're going to insert our hook. We're going to yarn over. We're going to pull our yarn through and give it a little pull, and then pull through the loop on our hook and give that a little pull. Chain 2, 1, and 2. We're going to yarn over, and we're going into this first double crochet right here, and we're going to work a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull your yarn up, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook, just like that. And that's going to give us our nice little flower right there. For our next one, we're going to work a double crochet into the next 2, 1 and 2. So a double crochet, a double crochet, and into the next a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up your yarn over, and pull through all 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Lost my yarn there for a second. Now we're going to yarn over twice on our hook. We're going to insert our hook into that last chain space here, 1, 2, into 3. Pull up your yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops on your hook. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over. We're not going into this first double crochet right here. Just like this side we skipped it, we're skipping it on this side. So yarn over, and into the second one here, we're going to insert our hook, pull up our yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on our hook for a half double crochet. Now we're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch and work a double crochet, into the next a double crochet, and into the next a half double crochet. And there's your butterfly. All right, now we're making a flower into the next one. So we're going to chain 2, 1, and 2, yarn over into the second space there, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Into the very first chain, we're going to insert our hook, pull our yarn through, and pull our yarn through. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Into the very first chain, insert our hook, pull our yarn through, and pull our yarn through. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Into the very first chain, pull your yarn through, and pull your yarn through. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Insert your hook into the very first chain, pull your yarn through, and pull your yarn through. Now bring your hook back down into this double crochet at the stitches right here, these little bumps right there, as I call them. Yarn over, pull your yarn through, give it a little bit of a pull, pull your yarn through, give that a little bit of a pull. Chain 2, 1, and 2, yarn over, and into this very first double crochet, we're working a half double crochet. So after the flower, we go into the very first stitch and after we go into the very first stitch. When we're making the butterfly, we're skipping the first and we're skipping this, we're skipping the last and we're skipping the first as we're coming up on it. So we did our half double crochet there. Now we're working a double crochet, and then a half double crochet, skipping this one. So into the next, a double crochet, into the next, a double crochet, and into the next, a half double crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over twice into this space right here, insert your hook, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over, we're skipping this first one, into this second one, we're working a half double crochet, into the next, a double crochet, into the next, a double crochet, and into the next, a half double crochet. And then we got our butterfly. You don't have to pull this yarn all the way up. I mean, you could, but you don't have to. Like, you don't have to bring it all the way up to here. You just bring it up, you know, just to meet about right here, and then start doing your stitches. Just so you know, just a little tidbit there. Okay, so now it's flower time. So now we're chaining 2, 1, and 2, yarn over once, insert your hook, bring up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, insert your hook into the very first chain, bring your yarn through, and bring your yarn through, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, insert your hook into the very first chain, bring your yarn through, and bring your yarn through, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, insert your hook into the very first one, bring your yarn through, and bring your yarn through, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, insert your hook into the very first chain, bring your yarn through, and bring your yarn through. Now we're going to go back down into this double crochet right here, to those stitches, bring your yarn through, I don't know if I like that one, into those stitches right there, there we go. Bring your yarn through, and then bring your yarn through, chain 2, 1, and 2, into the very first double crochet right here. We're working a half double crochet, so pull through all 3 loops on your hook, into the next, a double crochet, into the next, a double crochet, into the next, a half double crochet, and we're skipping this one, chaining 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarning over twice into this very first space here, pull up your yarn, and I only bring it like just to there, nothing more. I don't bring it all the way up, you know, I bring it just about there, and I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over, we're skipping this first one, and into the second one we're working a half double crochet, into the next, a double crochet, into the next, a double crochet, and into the next, a half double crochet. And then of course that brings us back to our flower. So I'll go ahead and fix those. All right, so go ahead and do those all the way around and I'll meet you back here at the beginning. I'm coming up on my last butterfly here, so I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over twice into this space, pull up my yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then into the top of this chain 2 space we made, we're going to insert our hook, pull our yarn through, and pull our yarn through, chain 1, pull our yarn, and that finishes off this round. I'm just trying to find my scissors here. So I'm just going to cut this and pull that through, and that's it. Other than weaving in these ends, I really hope you enjoyed working this pattern with me. I totally enjoy it. Just the little butterflies and flowers. So I'm going to show you how I crochet these in. I think I cut my end on this side. Oh no, I didn't. This one it must be on my blanket, all these little fuzzies. I thought it was just on my shirt because I wore this black sweater that had little fuzzies on them. But so I'm just going to insert my yarn, and all I'm going to do is just work back in around this circle. That's another one. I'm going to work back in and around just like this. Sometimes it's a little tight, but I guess that's good. And just pull it like that. And then I'm going to trim that off. Just like that. And then for this one, I don't even know if I was on camera. I hope I was on camera. I guess I should check first. Okay, good. I was on camera. I'm like, wait a minute. Because sometimes I'm looking down here and not at the camera. So I'm like, oh boy. All right, so for this one, I'm just going to weave this in. So I'm just going to, actually I'm going to bring it down and through this one here. And sometimes I like to get a couple of the, like bring it through a couple of the strands, if that makes any sense. And then pull this through, just like that. And then I'm going to bring it down and through here again. Just want to straighten it up because I don't want to be pulling it too tight. And then I guess I'll weave it down through here. Bring it down and through there. Down through here. Down through there. Just like that. I might have pulled it a little too tight. Okay. And then I'm just going to wrap it around here. And then going through here. And that's it for that stitch. I'm just going to trim that off. And that concludes this tutorial. So I really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, butterflies and flowers. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whichever it is where you are. And hopefully I'll see you again on another one.